So, after all those stories, finally Anand should have made it earlier, not entertain himself in the Berlin and see this and see. He got nowhere, less than nowhere. And when I was asking why he should play d4, because with d4, you can get a game. Right, wrong. I said, before we had a show here on Wednesday before the game, he should play d4. I don't think it will change the result, but there will be a game. And, well, we got an amazing game. No big surprise with, the Nimzo is super solid, and, I mean, most likely, if knight f3, we might see either d5, or the queen's gambit decline, or b6. Okay, f3, one of the aggressive lines in this position. One of the aggressive lines in this position, but obviously the big battle is for the e4 square. Kasparov favorite is queen c2. e3 is main. Knight f3. f3 was very popular by Shirov in the 90s, beginning 90s. Very cool move. d5. Some other lines involve castle immediately, become popular. a3, capture, capture. c5, capture. Very interesting pawn capture. Very, 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 very interesting is this move, pawn capture, because we have seen the main move in this position is knight capture. Knight capture, and then we have some lines involving this, castle, queen a5, lots of super duper complicated lines in this position that was played in the match Kramnik Anand, Karpov played it, Shirov, many of the greatest players in the world. But now, this is very interesting. What is White's idea? Kasparov played this position. Actually, he has a game very, very similar in the structure against Judith Polgar. Actually, that he won brilliantly. e3. Why do we lock the bishop? It's quite interesting. I mean, bishop g5, you might say, looks way more logical. But there are some difficulties with this move, mainly involving the fact that either castle or no, this pawn is vulnerable. For example, black can play here, and then something like knight d7. I mean, I'm not, for a second, I'm not even touching this one. And then black, what? Well, I will ask you, I spoke so much. Now I'm, well, what should black be selling in this position? Yeah, but in general, how should black play here? I mean, we will also study stump chess while doing the match. Oh, hopefully will.
Expand on the queen side?
Expand on the queen side, how?
B5 in there and then push the pawn forward?
B5 is reasonable, is possible, but I don't like it so much.
Yeah.
Possible, me not liking it. What is the problematic piece for black in this position?
Obviously the bishop on c8.
So if obviously, so think together. If you said obviously, you are obviously right. So let's play.
B6 and then
Very, very important. Let's exchange those bishops. Just very, very basic. You told me, going back, we mentioned Fischer. I remember I was so impressed reading about what they said, some Russian masters. Why Fischer never had bad pieces? He traded them. It's a really important thing to do. You have a bad piece, you know how to trade it. It's really, really important. Okay, so what is White's idea in this position? Just in so e3 was played. No, not the bishop is not going up. What is White's idea in this position?
D3, knight E2, castle kingside, those kind of ideas.
Bishop where? D3, knight E2,
Yeah.
castle queenside, and then? Okay, you're on, right on.
Then maybe try to force E4 in somewhere.
E4 or even
C4 maybe? I don't know.
G.
Oh, G4.
G4. G4.
Even if you're castle kingside.
Even if you castle kingside. This, G4, I think, you know what? Let's see if Anand knows how to play like we. C4. Not allowing the bishop to find this outpost. So that's a right one to start with. Immediately G4, not even wasting time. And there are some ideas that you even not move all the pieces but get the rook immediately on the rank. It starts to look somewhat like some lines in the French, the Wiener variation, when bishop b4 is being played, you take, and then how does black play in this position? Black's ideas. And here is my drug diet Coke. Need to drink.
Queenside advance, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if he's getting attacked on the king side, I would think he would counter on the queen side.
So, come on, give it to me. We can have it.
B5.
B5.
Okay. Well, you see, playing like Anand is maybe not difficult. Playing like Carlsen, that's something. Okay. We're gonna get there. Knight on b3. And pushing. It's very logical. It's very, very simple what we see here. A5, b4 is going to happen soon. And the big question is how fast white can and will push his pawns. They mentioned, oh goodness. You will allow me to take tiny bit move back, and in return, I will show you that I kept mentioning Kasparov game. I will even show you the Kasparov game, why not? So Judith Polgar played h6. This was played in Tilburg 97. Bishop g2. Now, we are basically having very same play. Let me show it a bit. This, knight b3, rook a2. This Kasparov is serious about the center pieces, and Mamma Mia mighty attack. He wants to play h3, bring the other rook, and something like that, and pretty much exactly like that. And that's how the game went. Oh, white won in. Come on, Kasparov, Judith Polgar. We are not going to touch much theory. Let me show you the entire game. I'll be happy. You'll be happy. Maybe Judith Polgar will be a bit less, but all right. And now, since we have our guest has arrived, we will pause here and see what did Kasparov play. Remember, Anand moves possible, Carlsen. Let's see if we can get Kasparov moves.
Bishop takes h6.
You're on. Very, very nice. Very nice. Excellent job, sir. Excellent job. Very good. That's exactly what Kasparov played. Bishop take h6. Rook e7. Knight f5. And he's just crushing. He doesn't have to need to win only by checkmate.
Check.
And you can obviously see that after take the knight take, if take here, and it's not really that bad to have all those pawns on the dark color and this bishop on light colors. Kasparov knows this as well. And he went on and won. So, what was, it was actually, it's a good moment to stop. The game lasted 5 more moves, move 32, 10 more, almost 10 more moves. h6, Carlsen hasn't repeated h6. But went immediately with knight a5, castle, knight a5. What principle? First world champion said, Carlsen obeyed in this example, an important one. We can see it in the best way. Which principle?
Didn't weaken his king side pawns.
Okay, right, but the bigger side, we know when your opponent is attacking you, don't push pawns on that side. But the bigger principle, even Tiny Wider says, don't push pawns on the side that your opponent is stronger. Think about it. If you're a general in the army, many have said it, right? You have 2 fronts to fight. In one of the fronts you're weaker, in one of the fronts you're stronger. Would you want to delay battle in the front that you are weaker as much as possible? You don't want it to happen. When you push pawns, what happens? I push the pawns, what I want our pawns to fight and open lines. The more that you advance towards me, you're making it easier for me to open lines. I don't want any contact. Let's say this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Four moves until there is a contact. If the pawn is advanced, it might take 1, 2 moves to have contact. So that's what William Steinitz, our first world champion, said. Do not make effort to avoid pushing pawns on the side that your opponent is stronger. And that's what we see in Carlsen. Well, once again, like it's Judith Polgar is by far the best woman player, by far, like one step up chess world has ever seen. Maybe Hue Fan will get her, she's still super young. But we see how Carlsen does, we spoke about it, the simplest things in the best way. So we got this position. Okay, and Anand is ready to move. Would have been interesting to see if maybe going to d7, but Carlsen, I think, believed the knight would be perfect on c7 in many ways. Okay, rook a6. What do we have here with rook a6? Well, what is his idea?
He gets the rook off the long diagonal. You can also do a rook lift over to the king side.
What?
6th rank.
Perfect. Give me just one more. You might want to play b4 immediately without worrying about this thing. You want to play, basically, we see this. If I would flip the board, in many Sicilians, we see the move rook h3. Anand himself had some great games in Sicilian, the Yugoslav version. We see the move, there's a bishop here, rook here. White wants to play g5, but after take, his rook is hanging. You play the move rook h3, so just you keep an eye on the file, but the rook is defended. So all the reasons that we've said, perfect. Somehow the 6th rank, somehow the long diagonal. My main reason, I want b4 and I want the rook to be protected. That is my main reason. Alrighty.
So what is it? Is the computer giving white a slight advantage here?
You know what?
Close.
I've made most of the shows here. I've seen the game, I read live commentary, I looked at them myself, but I haven't come on purpose with everything super duper analyzed. I want to do the shows here, and this is our 5th show, actually 6 if we count the live one, kind of like we are doing it live with tiny knowledge. So really, so I have to think, and together with you, I think this is the best experience when we are looking at games. If not, it's just one other lecture. You know, in 50 years we will have World Championship lecture like we do Botvinnik Tal. Okay, but here I want it tiny bit different to feel it. What computers say, I put it now on computer. Depth 30. It was already analyzed online, and this 0, 0, 0. So Carlsen, I mean, I have to tell you, I woke up this amazing. I went to sleep at 2 at night, so I woke up at 6. Wow, this day I was not falling, and I woke up at 6 and I said, oh, there's a match. I didn't even remember. I turned the computer, and I've seen like kind of like, seriously, those were my eyes, like, what? Where are all the pawns? Seriously, what's happening? And then I went like, I don't know, for 15 minutes and he blundered. But I have to tell you, this was, of course I click on the computer, even if it wasn't in the morning I would. It was so scary, that position. Like, I mean, I think people said correctly, most players in the world, not just the, you know, patchers like me. Like, I think many top players would have collapsed. I mean, it looked so scary. Like, 2 pawns attacking opening, there were 4 pawns on him. But he's cool, and actually he played exactly our idea. Look, e5 and b4. This is the idea. When he played rook a6, like rook h3 in Sicilian, you want to open the file. You don't want to start moving the rook and giving white the a file. So he got fast play. They say a takes b4 was a bit wrong, and I have to somewhat agree with that, just by the look of it. But despite, by the way, the fact it's computer's best move. But what to do? We are human. If not, I will send Houdini here to lecture. Why, if this move is wrong indeed, why? Why would this move be a bit wrong? You're trading maybe, okay, but in the game, did he actually trade those rooks? He did, right? So that's one thing. Other one.
Well, why take time out to delay your attack on the king side by trading on the king side?
I think it's opening the king side that might be a bit bothering.
Yeah.
I mean, back to 150 years ago, Steinitz, you know, the principles do not change. They will not change in 1,000 more years. It's just principles, right? Unless you put a new piece, you know, Yasser Seravan, which is the GM who has here for a long time, he showed me, we were here in the Singfield Cup and got to do quite a lot of chess. He invented amazing game. I think he called it S-chess or something. Oh man, this is genius. This is genius. I mean, it's the most entertaining. He was showing Aronian some puzzles, and I was there on the side, and tiny with pieces that move like a rook and a knight and a bishop and a knight. Oh my gosh, this is genius. I mean, to me, I think I want to see this as being played in chess. But unless they change the rules, the center will be the center, not opening a side when your worst will be. So maybe here delaying this is something that is being seriously recommended. Like, there are some ideas to go f5 immediately, and then knight to b5. No, I'm getting short of breath just by looking at the position. I'm not making it a show. It's like, go away. No, one has to be. I mean, I will just say one more thing. For everyone that said, and even I had to apologize kind of to myself, that said, oh, you know, Carlsen just playing positional chess, moving the pieces, not making mistake in his opponent blunder. You know, this game showed, at least for this match, no. He's the best defender, he's amazing, he calculates, whatever you want. It's just that sometimes we don't see it all. And that's the impression that we get. Remember in tennis, versus someone hitting the ball 130, 140 miles an hour, wow. Or someone just very precision, you know. And that's No, not so much power, but so precise in positional play. And this is the line that is so, so dangerous. Oh man, without going any further, they say that there is a line. Okay, you know what? I will actually show it a bit further. They say that this line is really, really dangerous if you look at it long enough. Really, really, really long enough. Wow. I mean, like, super, super seriously, wow. So, yeah. This is super duper seriously wow. All right. So he took and exchanged also some pieces in the process there. Took and exchanged some pieces in the process. Okay. Let's continue. This is here is pretty much where I woke up. And here, amazing play. I mean, you know, when we teach amateurs, we always say, look at the pieces in the square around your king. Look at the pieces in the square around your king. Carlsen also knows that. So he's bringing this knight to defend. He needs the pieces to come back to defend. This is a crucial part of the play. You need the pieces to go back and defend. And knight c7 is great. f6, g6. So, yes or no? Checkmate or no? Wow. I mean, this is really, and I want to assume for Carlsen that he had seen this as deeply as possible. It's either yes or no. I mean, there's nothing in between. I mean, well, actually there is, it should be a draw. b2. So if you want to go all the way on this side, I'm going to play a tiny bit on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, they're both all in this game.
All in.
It's two results, win or loss.
Exactly. I mean, but all in all, okay, you know, without all the stories and this, just an absolutely a great game. I mean, Ben kind of depressed me because well, first it's Ben. No, actually, he's really great, but it depressed me because I thought, you know, I was so smart. You know, I called the games and I called the match and I called the open. And then I said it should play. And then Ben tell me, oh, here, look at my blog. I said they're going to be 5 draws and 4 wins for Carlsen, and he has to play d4. Oh, okay, sorry. But that's what I thought should be. I mean, really, Anand didn't really had any. He didn't threaten Carlsen at any point. Game 3, Carlsen played bad, and what we got in return? Anand bailing out. That's why game 3 for me was, that's it. Your best player in the world is playing way below his level. That's the moment, you know, you take and you throw everything at him. You know, that's where he's weak for 1 second. He didn't do it, and he didn't do it in such an obvious way, then he just cannot do it. I mean, I want to say this. Maybe Anand will win the candidates and they'll play another match. I don't see Anand playing this way, winning 1 game. He will have to play different. I mean, you know, the gentleman here asked before, 10 years ago, Anand would be even in this match. Even. You take Anand 2003, you know, like a 1 year, Anand 2003, this match is even. Maybe even okay, he wouldn't blunder the same way in game 4, and he would make really serious difficulties in game 3. But he's just a weaker player than he was. He was a great player. He played, I always say, I said in this lecture many times, when Carlsen was 6 months old, He played a match with Karpov, quarterfinal of the candidates. You know, it's like 44 is serious. Just because we think chess is, oh, you know, they're just thinking a little bit. Well, how many great NBA players you see at the age of 44? Okay. I mean, Coach Noy was only one that kind of really peaked at 48. 1978, he was kind of played like number one in the world, even better than Karpov, and gave a big match. In 1981, just 3 years after, there was already no match. Karpov and no match. Okay, but yeah, Karpov, by the way, the same. He actually now played amazing rapid tournament, but when he got, let's say, in 2000, tiny bit above 50s, gone. Like still in 95, 98, he was really strong. And those are greatest in history. Smyslov was actually amazing, and Coach Noy is most amazing. Up until 2-3 years ago, when he beat Caruana 4 years ago. Okay, Caruana wasn't 28, but was super strong GM. Okay, so rook f4, all in, as said.
Check.
And now all out for Vichy. Yeah, I mean, seriously? I mean, what he thought is going to play this. So this is our threat, like Julian said. It's very simple. There can be many thousand more pieces on the board. I can probably put maybe another rook here. Maybe. It might not change it. There is one idea. The knight go to e7, yes or no? Knight on g7 cannot go. Take. So now the threat is bishop e4. That's why rook on h8 actually might save black a bit. But, and here. Gave everything. The knight is there. And it's not going to be a queen and for whatever pieces. The rook on f8 is trapped. So that's it. But you know, this is also interesting. Because when we teach here, young kids, lectures that Ben put online so people can see, what do we say? When you see a way, and it's correct for everyone, that wins the game for you, you think you're going to win the game. This is the moment that you need to think again. What happened? You have 30 minutes. If you're completely winning or think you're winning, you want to waste 2 minutes, waste 5 minutes, waste 8 minutes. If you're right, wow, you are an idiot. You spent 5 more minutes, but you secure the game. If you're wrong, you have much better chance to understand why not. It's really 0-1. When you get to a situation, you have a combination, you think you're winning a knight. Forget about checkmate. Winning the game. Take your time. This is the moment to take the time. And amazing that Anand, okay, Ben was saying that before he, somewhere in the 90s, I think, they played in Frankfurt chess tournament and Anand finished with 50%. Was it Frankfurt or Munich? Munich. And then they played the Blitz tournament. Strong players that played in the tournament and some local ones. And Anand finished with 17.5 out of 18. So, including Gelfand and some others. So, no, Anand and Blitz is clear. So to say, Vichy, you don't see tactics fast enough will be the most rude thing to say. But Vichy 2013 had his fair, he said in the conference, he had his fair share of blunders this year, and this was the last one. So what is the correct continuation here? What is our correct continuation? It should be a draw here, amazing.
I think it was it bishop f1?
Bishop f1, our crowd is very pro. Queen d1. Wow, this is some brave dudes here. I mean, honestly, it's like so. And here comes the crucial move, which is g6. No, g6. And then this move. Rook g5. And they say it's equal because black cannot move and cannot get anything improved in the position. No, it's like, I don't want to play this position with white. I don't want to play it with black. You know, I don't want to be checkmated. I don't want to be down a piece. I just want to play like simple positional 0-1 advantage. I'm too old for this. But this is our last blunder. So he overlooked. Either he checkmates or he overlooked. And if your opponent is Carlsen, you have to ask yourself maybe 10 times, did Magnus overlook a checkmate?